Just like IBF welterweight world champion Kell Brook, the IBF welterweight mandatory challenger Errol Spence has also called out Canelo Alvarez. That's right, everybody wants to fight Canelo. He says it is a fight he would take right now, and he's obviously very confident of beating Canelo. What do you guys think of Errol Spence's chances against him? You think Errol Spence is getting way ahead of himself here? Or would you give him a good chance of actually dethroning the Mexican golden boy, the cash cow of Golden Boy Promotions? What do you think? As I mentioned in the Kell Brook video regarding a possible Kell Brook Canelo fight, styles make fights, and I do think some people are getting a bit carried away with Canelo's performance against Liam Smith, as good as it was, because I do for the most part think it was a good performance, and I do, as I said in my post-fight video to that fight, believe that Canelo has improved massively over the past few years. I think Canelo is way better now than he was when he fought Floyd Mayweather. Even his pressure fighting skills have noticeably improved from what I can see. I remember when he fought Mayweather, I remember when he fought Austin Trout, etc. And to me, there was a marked improvement. Although he didn't try and fight a pressure fight against Mayweather per se, I have to say that. But in other fights, he did try and fight a pressure fight, and he wasn't particularly good at cutting off the ring, etc. Whereas if you see him against Erislandy Lara, and I understand a lot of people feel that Lara won the fight, but still, if you watch him in a Lara fight, he was better at cutting off the ring. I'm not saying he was perfect. He wasn't as good as Golovkin or whatever at cutting off the ring, but I did see an improvement in terms of his ability to cut off the ring against Erislandy Lara than he'd shown in previous fights. There was more of an urgency against Lara, the way he was moving around the ring and tracking Lara down and going to the body and all that type of stuff. So, and that's just one particular example. There are other aspects of his game which I also think have improved. So I've definitely seen a big improvement in Canelo, but still, against certain styles, he's going to prevail. And against other styles, he's going to have more of an issue. And I think most people will agree that Canelo tends to have more problems with boxers, guys who move, guys who give him different angles from the outside. But anybody who stands in front of Canelo is going to have issues. Does Errol Spence stand in one place too often to be able to beat Canelo? We've never really seen Errol Spence box on the back foot. Errol Spence is a guy who likes to, yes, he can box in center ring, but he's fairly stationary. You know, he moved a little bit against Leonard Bundu, but it was hardly Erislandy Lara style movement. It wasn't even Austin Trout style movement. So perhaps he's a little too static for Canelo, and Canelo will be able to get off them combinations and hit him with them big bombs. I mean, you look back to the Austin Trout fight, Trout was moving for the most part, but the second that he stood still for too long, Canelo nailed him with that right hand and made him do a silly dance before he hit the canvas. Would the same thing happen to Errol Spence against Canelo Alvarez? We don't know. As you know, on this channel, I do rate Errol Spence highly. I do think he's a very talented fighter. And at this stage, I might even pick him against most, if not all, the fighters who are currently active in the welterweight division. But as far as 154, I think it's a whole different ballgame. I would not pick Errol Spence to clean out the 154-pound division. I think there are a lot of talented fighters out there at 154, Canelo being one of them. You've also got Erislandy Lara. You've got the Charlo brothers, obviously, although I think Errol Spence would probably do better against them than he would against some of the other guys. And you've got Demetrius Andrade, who I think might turn out to be the pick of the bunch. We'll see. You know, time will tell. So, as far as Errol Spence against Canelo, my personal take on it, I'd probably still favor Canelo, you know, just based on the styles, because I haven't seen Errol Spence show that much slickness. I've seen him show a lot of physicality, coming forward and bullying and all that type of stuff, and he's good at that. And he's good at standing in the middle of the ring and boxing with you, but he doesn't give that much movement, lateral movement. You can get shots off against him. So, I don't know, somebody as prolific in the pocket with the combinations and all that as Canelo, I don't really like Errol Spence's chances. Maybe you disagree. And maybe Errol Spence, as highly as I rate him, will turn out to be even better than I think he is right now. But, you know, as the saying goes, and as you're all sick of hearing, styles make fights. And at this point in time, at least, I'd probably favor Canelo's style over Errol Spence's style. But I'd favor Errol Spence's style over Kell Brook, certainly. Particularly if Brook is moving back down to 147 and he's got this eye injury and all that type of stuff. But let me know how you feel in the comment section below, people. How would Errol Spence get on against Canelo Alvarez? If he got the opportunity, should he take it? Drop it all in the comment section below. It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.